In terms of the biggest challenge for the U.S. Pakistan relationship, I would argue that right now, in the short to medium term, it is the fact that the two countries don't agree on the vision for Afghanistan for the future and what role the United States should play, and how Pakistan can be helpful in creating a stable future in Afghanistan. Much of the conflict between the two countries is very much centered on the perception that Pakistan plays a negative role in Afghanistan, that it indirectly and directly in some cases creates an unstable environment, makes it unsafe for NATO troops, but also for Afghan citizens. And so because the U.S. has not seen Pakistan make any progress in that regard, nor has it seen Pakistan be helpful in facilitating any kind of negotiations with the Taliban, the relationship is still very much on edge. As long as the U.S. will have any number of troops in the region, that relationship will continue to be strained. That being said, there's still some areas of opportunity, both short-term and long-term. In the short term, I feel like the leadership in both countries should they have an opportunity to minimize how they communicate with each other publicly. In the United States, Donald Trump has tweeted and very publicly said that Pakistan is not helpful. That is a tactic that other U.S. administrations have used in the past, and it's ineffective. The Pakistanis do not like to be berated publicly. They're much more effective in acquiescing to certain kind of requests that are politically unpalatable if the requests are made privately. Clearly, Donald Trump does not understand that, nor has anyone in his administration encouraged him to be more discreet about the relationship. And so if some of that public tension was taken to behind the scenes, then I think that that would be an immediate improvement in the relationship. Another area that I think could lead to some improvement in the relationship is if both countries would just focus on the key priorities between the two of them, that being Afghanistan and reconciliation. So if they actually had relationships between institutions and leaders and then use those to actually to sit down and say, okay, this is what we can deliver on Afghanistan, this is what we cannot, and have kind of a very straightforward, blunt, pragmatic conversation about that topic, then I think that that would also improve the overall tenor and dynamic of the relationship. So to date, we don't have very strong institutional or high-level ties that would facilitate that kind of thing. But if we do the first part, which is minimize kind of the public discontent and then build on kind of where there is mutual interest, I think it's possible to improve. And then finally, the area where an area that doesn't really get discussed is that of resources. I think that the U.S. has probably cut as much security assistance to Pakistan that it could. I don't envision that it will increase security assistance, so I wouldn't say that will improve or that we should do that. But I do think that some kind of consistency or stabilizing of the resources that the U.S. has devoted to Pakistan will improve the relationship, both kind of in terms of assistance on the development side, but also in terms of the internal U.S. government resources devoted to the study and attention that's paid to Pakistan. I would advise that the U.S. continue to invest internally in ensuring its bureaucrats and specialists understand the country over the long run. That will improve the relationship in situations where there conflicts do emerge, and then there will be just better understanding of each other's issues.